Chris Brown, Steve Tasker, joined in studio by Bills team reporter Maddy Glab, also co-host of Bills Tonight, joining us as she always does after victories for what else but the Maddy Awards, which are presented by EnergyMark, the official energy supplier to the Buffalo Bills. And boy, that second half performance was an energy supplier, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. 2 straight victories by the Bills. We're getting back on the train tracks, heading in the right direction here as we approach Week 8. I can't believe we are already into Week 8 of the NFL season. It's going by fast, everybody.
Yeah, it does. We always say it's like once it starts, it's rolling downhill. Ain't no stopping it. You got to get on with it. Slow start to the game yesterday for all the way on both sides of the ball, but the Bills come roaring back.
Yep, somebody had a hot start. Even though the Bills' offense had a slow start, there's somebody on this offense who did have a hot start. His name is Amari Cooper. Cooper had just 4 days to get ready for this game. He plays, and he wasn't just used as a decoy. Cooper was a playmaker. He had the second most receiving yards, 66, and also had a touchdown. I saw the play of the other receivers elevate when Cooper was on the field, and even throw tight end Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox into the mix as well. I feel like having Cooper on the field, you got to account for him so other guys may have a better chance at getting open and making plays. Josh Allen gave Cooper a shout out for all the extra hours that he put in leading up to this game, and it paid off because his first catch as a Bill goes for a touchdown.
Yeah, and this was a crazy thing that I saw yesterday. Amari Cooper now has a receiving touchdown in each of his last 4 games against the Tennessee Titans.
Man.
Including the game when he was traded from the Raiders to the Cowboys. Played in his first game against the Titans then, 5 for 58 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yesterday, 4 for 66 and a touchdown. How about that, Steve?
Yeah, it was great. And everybody's kind of, it's funny now that he, the first target he got doinked off his face mask. He didn't catch it for a little hitch route.
Yeah.
But
gotta get it out of your
we just saw,
system.
the last catch there, the one that Josh threw on a deep cross around the middle was way behind him. He reached back both hands, got it, and pulled that. And that was a tough catch. And then, yeah, it was a great day. And I think you could feel, and maybe it's because we all got our antenna up as to what this offense is really going to look like. It was an effect, right? Keon Coleman all of a sudden out of nowhere has 100-yard day and almost should have had a touchdown. Just the effect that a player comes in and goes to the top of the pecking order, I want to see him play again.
You'll get to, Steve.
I'm pretty sure I will
for the rest of the season.
But that's the way. That's the way it's always been under Sean McDermott and with Josh at quarterback. It is the most. They're the most. You just can't wait for them to see them line up again.
Oh, I know. Just you should sit in the office with me, and how many times Steve pulls up the games on NFL Plus to watch the replays of the games. He's in there. I'm like, "What are you watching?" He's like,
"Do you guys remember this play?"
I'm watching perfect playoff game. Bills Patriots. I was like, again?
I'm watching.
Just crushing it on a Monday morning.
I'm watching 2020 Rams Bills early in the season.
I'm watching the Thanksgiving game against the Cowboys.
That's exactly what he's doing.
That's exactly
like
what
almost
I do.
every week, once a week.
It's the best.
All right. Steve mentioned Keon Coleman. That's timely for the Growing Up Award.
Keon Coleman is growing up. I believe he grew as an NFL receiver yesterday. He looked like he had a better understanding of the offense, his quarterback, Josh Allen, and finding space. Coleman had 62 yards after the catch yesterday against the Titans. He found those open zones and made the Titans pay. In an NFL player's first year, you see all these small steps as you begin to progress, and I think we saw that yesterday out of Coleman. He led the team with 125 receiving yards, which is the most by a Bills rookie since 2014. That's when Sammy Watkins did it.
Yeah, he had 127 or something, I think it was. So, yeah, good day for him for sure. All right, the Ignitor.
The Ignitor, it's going to a group of fellows who are on the field for that 4th down stop in the third quarter. The team was playing flat on both sides of the ball to begin this game. They needed some sort of spark to shift the momentum in their direction, and they got it from Buffalo's defense. It was a 4th down stop to open the third quarter, a 4th and 2 play in Tennessee's territory. Rookie defensive tackle Dwayne Carter comes flying in alongside a Taylor Rapp to just bury Tony Pollard. It's a turnover on downs. The Bills on offense scored on 5 straight possessions after that play.
Yeah, this
you
was.
surprised they ran up the middle twice in a row there?
No, I mean,
No?
no. Against the Bills defense. No, I think this Bills defense is notorious. You know,
They
they've
were
got
running
a rep.
so much play action, though, in the
They've
first
got a
half. I thought
reputation
for
for it.
sure they were going to run play action there on fourth
Think
down.
where they're at there. They're up 10-7. They got a team out of halftime.
And they're trying to hold on to
They're
the
trying to
ball.
shorten the game. They know that their offense has kind of run the menu of,
Right.
you know,
Screens and
they're just trying to say, and they're putting it on their players, and the players get it when you're in that position, and they're going to say, listen, we're going to run this up there and say, you know, you kind of look at each other and say, oh, here we go, let's go get it.
We're ready for
They
it.
couldn't do it. The Bills, let's face it, if they had play action that, it might have been big problems for the Bills, but they didn't. The Bills sold out and got it. I mean, Taylor Rapp comes in low,
Yeah, he's
Carter's
submarined
there high. Man, they had no chance.
Yeah. Secret Weapon Award.
The Bills have a secret weapon this season, everybody. It's their halftime adjustments. Buffalo is down by 10 points in the first half. The defense allows 217 yards, and the offense just had 90 in the first 2 quarters of this one. Something happens to this group at halftime. They go into the locker room, and the team drinks some of Michael's secret stuff. Defensive coordinator Bobby Babich and offensive coordinator Joe Brady become mad scientists, switching things up. The second half starts and a new team emerges. Suddenly, what was working for the Titans in the first half wasn't working at all for them. Buffalo's coaching staff almost invites opponents to say, hey, show me what you got, and then at halftime, I'm going to figure out how to beat you, and we're going to switch it all up so you have no idea what's going on. We've seen it in multiple games this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means 70 total yards for the Titans in the second half. And Steve had the great stat on Tony Pollard, how he had 64 yards
Yes.
at halftime and then finished with 61.
61.
It was not a good second half.
Not a good second
The
half.
Bills have
Minus
been,
3
the
yards.
Bills have done that in a lot of these games where they've come out slow and trailed early on and walked them down. You can, and it's hard to. That's the thing. It's not like all of a sudden they're playing like 6 defensive linemen or they're going dime the whole second.
Completely
they
switching
just
it
seem
all
like
up.
they just play better.
Yeah.
They just play better.
All right. Next up, we've got the Enforcers Award.
The Enforcers, somebody had to start it on defense, and the defensive line got after Titans quarterback Mason Rudolph in the second half. Little by little, this defense started to pick apart the Titans offense. It started with the pass rush putting pressure on Rudolph. It was led by defensive ends Greg Rousseau, AJ Epenesa, and Dawuane Smoot. I love how these guys are stepping up in the absence of Von Miller. Remember, one more game without Miller, so he'll be back ahead of Week 9 against the Dolphins. But Rousseau finishes with 6 quarterback hits. It's the most by a player this season, and the defense as a whole finishes with 11 quarterback hits. McDermott said the difference in the second half was winning at the line of scrimmage, and the defense definitely did that.
Yeah. I mean, I like Rousseau, I think, has really played 2 outstanding weeks. He just doesn't always have the sack numbers to support
Right.
it. But, man, the guy's always hitting the quarterback. He's always getting into the backfield. He's affecting the opponent's passing game. And I think Epenesa has had 2 big weeks. If you think about it, he had 2 sacks last week against the Jets and had a third one taken away from him on a poppycock roughing the passer call. And then yesterday, he's inches away from getting an interception to go along with his sack strip
Yes.
fumble, which unfortunately the Bills didn't recover. Because the center recovered at Cushenberry for the Titans down deep in their own territory. I mean, they end up punting anyway, but those 2 guys, yeah, to your point, Maddie, about, Von being down, those 2 guys have, I think they've elevated their
Yep.
game the last 3 weeks.
Right.
Which you got to think, okay, this is great. You have Miller coming back into the fold, having 4 weeks off as a veteran player in the NFL. I know it was a suspension, but you're going to get some fresh legs in him coming back onto the field. You have Smoot and Epenesa playing at a higher level than they were when Miller was a part of the lineup. Now you pair all of this together, and we might see this defensive line really start to emerge in terms of numbers as one of the top 5 units in the NFL. They're top 10 right now.
Yeah, and that's really been a difference. I think Epenesa has stepped it up, no question about it. And the preparation he showed in almost getting that interception was big. And Greg Rousseau, to me, has become better and better at getting slippery off the edge. I mean, they're having a harder time this year blocking him consistently than they've had in the past.
I mean, now, look, we can take it with a grain of salt because the right tackle situation for the Titans is a mess.
True,
Their
true.
projected starter at the beginning of the year got benched last week. They started a guy, made his first career start last week. He's on the inactive list yesterday because they didn't like how he played. They put the other backup, Jalen Duncan, in there. He pulls his hamstring 5 plays into the game and is out, and back comes in the benched guy, who we all saw yesterday why he got benched in the first place.
Right.
All right, we finish with the Hats Off Award.
Hats Off Award, it's going to QB1 Josh Allen for his 100 career starts. It's been so fun to watch Allen at the helm of this team, wheeling and dealing his way through NFL defenses. Allen makes watching the NFL more entertaining. It's been a joy to see him play the quarterback position, from stiff-arming and hurdling guys to score, making jaw-dropping completions, extending plays out of the pocket. He does it all. From no D1 offers coming out of college to being in the MVP conversation. 4 straight AFC East titles with Josh Allen as the quarterback. His 68 career wins tie Aaron Rodgers and Hall of Famers Joe Montana, Brett Favre, Terry Bradshaw for 6th most wins in a quarterback's first 100 starts. Right now, he is the 2nd player in NFL history to have 12 passing touchdowns and no interceptions through 7 games to start the season. We're seeing a lot cleaner play out of Allen this season when you compare it to somebody who led the NFL in turnovers last year. I am so excited for 100 more starts. Hopefully that includes a Super Bowl win and an MVP title as well.
Out of those 100 starts, in 20 of them, Josh Allen has no turnovers. In those 20 games, they're 20-0. That's
Yeah, and I think even with 1 turnover, his record is pretty stupid too. 1 loss.
It's ridiculous.
Wise. I think he's like 80% winning percentage, even with 1
two of the
turnover.
wins. Yeah, 2 of the wins this year he had a turnover because he got sack, strip, fumble. Remember, and they're 20-0 when he doesn't turn it over.
Meanwhile,
I'll tell you, it's a well-coached
Patrick
team.
Mahomes leads the NFL in interceptions.
they're
Is that what
6-0.
you're going to say?
And they're
yeah.
6-0.
What the heck?
Yeah,
They have a really good defense.
They do.
yeah, their defense.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for those Maddy Awards, Maddie. We appreciate it. And hopefully we see you in here next Monday because that will mean another victory, number 6 for the Bills.
Yeah.
After their longest road trip of the season. So fingers crossed that we have another edition of the Maddy Awards a week from today.